Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back. All right, all you positive heads. 2017, it's upon us. Welcome to the show. It's a new year. It's a reset of sorts across the board, and I am so happy here to get to start off recording this podcast, doing what I love. Thanks to all of you supporters, and it means the world. And I would like to actually start off with reading something that I posted on the Positive Heads Facebook group. And any of you guys who aren't on there, get on there in 2017. We've about 1,000 people or so strong now, connecting and sharing and all those beautiful things to kind of continue the same work here on the internet, online. And it's wonderful to see people joining and getting involved and getting to know each other and supporting each other. So yeah, I'd love to see you guys on there if you're not on there already. And I posted something on there that I thought, well, probably a lot of listeners, since we have a lot more listeners than are on that group currently, wouldn't have a chance to see it. So I thought I would just read it. And it was sort of inspired. Mary, one of the members of the Positive Heads Facebook group, had posted a Paul Coelho quote that I really loved. And so it kind of inspired what I wrote. And at first I'll read the Paul Coelho quote. It says, "We are travelers on a cosmic journey, stardust swirling and dancing in the eddies and whirlpools of infinity. Life is eternal. We have stopped for a moment to encounter each other, to meet, to love, to share. This is a precious moment. It's a little parentheses in eternity." So well said. So, such a beautiful thought, right? Truth, a beautiful truth. And so I reposted the same little meme with the quote and wrote this to all of you guys. And I said, love this quote posted earlier by Mary Aldana so much. I wanted to repost it and say happy new parentheses in eternity to all you beautiful reflections. Thank each and every one of you for showing up in this lovely dream that Source is having called life on planet Earth. It's such a delight to make your soul's reacquaintance, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me, the show, one another, and most importantly, yourself, as we work together in 2017 to expand the dream in a direction that is even more magical. It's our year to dream bigger, reach farther, step even more fully into the bliss that is our birthright as we collectively remember and reawaken to the truth of ourselves. And as well, also help to reawaken our brothers and sisters who still slumber. I have no doubt that all of you will help transform each and every person that you touch in 2017 just by shining your beautiful light. You are all such magical light beings, and I believe in each and every one of you. It's truly an honor to be in your presence. So that's my little message to you guys heading into this year. Happy new parentheses in eternity. And let's see where it goes, shall we? I'm so excited. Let's see here. So, got that out of the way. The celebration of the new year. And what I wanted to do was actually I had some questions that had come in. Well, one was just a post on Positive Heads Facebook group. Back up real quick before we get to that. I also had a review I wanted to read. You guys know iTunes is the holy grail of all things podcasting. A lot of you have been reviewing on there. Those of you who haven't, I would really appreciate it if you did. It's helping us to reach a lot of new people because we're, doing so well in sort of the rankings and so forth. And, I try not to give too much energy to that sort of thing. Do what you do because you love it, and the people who are meant to find it will find it. But at the same time, it is a labor of love that I hope, my intention with a healthy sense of detachment is for it to expand. And that's definitely happening. And thanks to you guys taking the time to review that, then people, it comes up higher in the rankings, and then people kind of stumble upon it and then, find it. It resonates. They stick around. And on it goes. So this particular review was, let's see here, by Irish Packy. And Irish Packy said, a lighthearted, no pressure podcast. Maybe that sounds silly, but this podcast opens itself and you up to new ideas and new positive ways of thinking and being, but never pushes any specific belief or dogma. It's all about learning and experiencing new things and finding what works to make you happier. Thank you, Brandon, for all your hard work. Every time I listen to this podcast, it grounds me and helps keep me on the path of positive living and thinking. I am by no means out of the woods, but this has become an essential tool on my journey, sending you back some of the positive energy you send out to your listeners every day. Patrick. Thank you, Patrick, for completing the circle of love by sending some back my direction. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And also, guys, we're on Google Play now. So that's just another new platform for people to find the show. So if you could go over to, you can find the link directly to the show page on Google Play on positivehead.com. Click on that. Literally one click is subscribe. Even if you're not getting the show there, it's going to help us to reach new people. Same kind of way as iTunes works. So also, I love getting questions too. For those of you, actually today, I'm going to answer a question that was written in by a listener. So if you have questions for me, I love getting them. Brandon at positivehead.com, or you can just go through the positivehead.com Facebook, not Facebook page. Well, you could do that too, but positivehead.com website in the contact page and submit a question. But yeah, so let's see. Here we go. The question, well, first off, a couple different I'm going to address. One was just a post on the Positive Heads Facebook page, and yeah, so it was like a question to everyone there, and I thought I would just grab a hold of it. I started to write out a response to this person, Caitlin, who's on the page and very active on the page. I started to write out a response. I was like, I'll just save it to talk about it on the show because it's a really, really good point that she brings up, and an issue that she's so bravely putting out to the world that I believe is pretty common. So yeah, I just wanted to speak on it for a moment. And what she wrote is, one of the things I'm trying to let go of in 2017 is constant comparison. I'm going to open my heart up a little bit here. And while I have stirred away from the boat that says I have something in hopes of creating new light on my life and a new story, the ghost of body dysmorphic disorder has been haunting me a lot lately. I see women, sometimes even men, admittedly even some of you, who are just so beautiful inside and out, and it causes me to analyze literally every nick and cranny of myself. I'm not lying when I say every time I see a beautiful post or picture of someone, I will spend an hour in front of the mirror scanning my body to make sure everything is perfect. Now, I know I'm beautiful in my own light. Deep down, I do. So I don't need the validation from others to say that. What I need is a little positive head guidance. Anyone who has been through this, what do you do to stop looking in the mirror and comparing? As I said, I think this is something that is a very common issue, especially with women. I had posted something the other day. It was a little video showing how much these magazines and so forth that are out there, like women's magazines, like 80% of them is just ads of unrealistic models and, all this photoshopped stuff that's just not even in line with like natural, what would be sort of average or normal or natural in our society. It's created this false sense of, why you're not good enough. Then you look at Facebook, why you're not good enough. People photoshopping or only posting their highlights and never putting their vulnerabilities. And you're thinking, my life isn't that magical, or whatever, or I don't have that body or that face or, the ability to write like that or whatever. What we all have is our own unique talent, our own unique gifts. We're all beautiful. Anyone is beautiful when they're beautiful on the inside, when they're getting in touch with that self-love, when they're finding that self-love, it shines through. You're going to appear beautiful to people physically, spiritually, mentally, every kind of way possible. Your vibe is going to reflect that self-love. Mark Twain said, comparison is the death of joy. Ramana Maharishi, when asked, how should we treat others? He said, there are no others. And that's the biggest thing that I want to really drive home here. Caitlin, as you're looking in the mirror, what are you thinking about? Separation, separation, separation. These beautiful others that you refer to, guess who they are? Guess why they're showing up in your world? Out of 7 billion souls, these people are showing up on your feed or, however you're bumping up against them is so unlikely. It's like hitting the lotto 100 times in a row, right? Why are they showing up in your world? Because they're a reflection of you in some way. Don't you get that? Get that. If you can get that, this is you. It is you. There are no others. There's only one of us. And those that are sort of, as I always say, it's like think of Source as a giant tree, right? And it's all your family, the most far removed person in the Middle East, perhaps, or it's all extensions of you, but they're maybe further down the tree, maybe on a different branch on the other side. Those who are bumping up against your world and you're interacting with, those are very close, sort of the closest reflections on the tree, so to speak, right? And so anyone that you're seeing, instead of comparing yourself, what if you adopted the realization, the truth, you expanded your perspective, which you're already well on your way doing, obviously by tuning in like you do and being a part of the Positive Heads community and all the things that you're doing. You're already there. Let's take it a step further in 2017, shall we? Where you understand every time that beautiful person or post or what have you comes up against you, instead of comparing, you own it as your own. Wow, what a beautiful reflection of me. Wow. And then it builds you up. It's not tearing you down in any way. You're really getting it. There are no others. And when you understand there are no others, it all becomes you own that, right? And what a beautiful way to get this in a way that is more in line with what's really going on. And now what's going to happen if you start doing that? You're going to start shining. Every time you see that beautiful post or person, you're not going to spend an hour looking at yourself, foolishly thinking that you're separate. Instead, the opposite, you're going to say, ooh, I'm going to take that on. And then it builds you up. It helps you grow. As a result, you're going to become more beautiful physically, and more importantly, energetically, how you're perceived. This reality is malleable. So how people are perceiving you is going to be directly in line with the internal energy. And you'll essentially be eating positive soul food every time you look at someone that is beautiful or a post that is beautiful, and you take it on as an extension of you, a reflection of you. Just like I said in that little 2017, post that I made. That's the first thing I said right at the top of it. I wanted to repost this quote and say, happy new parentheses in eternity to all you beautiful reflections, because that's exactly how I see it. So if you see anything beautiful in me, wow, you've really got something in your eye now. If you see something that you like about what I'm putting out to the world, or there's something that really resonates and you admire, it's just you. I'm just a part of you, right? So take it on, own it, make it your own. It is you guys hear me say it all the time. This is your show. I'm just, sort of steering the ship. I'm not so foolish as to think I do this by myself. It's like there's so many parts to this, from even beyond the physical that are assisting, that are parts of me, the parts of you tuning in and supporting and sharing. This is not a one-man show. This is like it's a collective, right? It's all extensions of the oneself, and it's beautiful. So I hope, Caitlin, this helps you in some way. Certainly I could say a lot more than writing, writing it out on the post on Facebook. I believe in you, and I see you as a beautiful reflection. So thank you for building me up with your beauty. Now, moving right along, there was another question that was written in that was right in line with this. So I decided, okay, I can kind of see the direction of where the show should go today. I had a friend and another listener, Ashley Myers, write and say, I loved episode 333 about Christ consciousness. Literally moments later, I get an email saying, "Hi, Brandon. Thank you so much for episode 333. You have no idea how much I needed to hear what you said on that episode. Have you ever or will you ever talk about dark energy or demons? I've heard from Abraham Hicks that it doesn't exist and we should never acknowledge it, but I've spoken to a medium that feels very strongly otherwise. I am having a hard time wrapping my head around it. I was wondering if you could direct me to a podcast that you did if you already discussed this topic, or if you could share your opinion in a future episode. Thank you so much for what you do. I love listening. Best wishes, Ashley." So I'm like, hold on. Did Ashley just text me and then also write in? And it was a different Ashley. So I'm like, okay. And then I tied it together with what Caitlin had just written in. Really, what's she talking about? Her personal demons, right? So these are all just different ways of this sort of negative energy manifesting, right? Here's if someone's going to give a lot of energy to the idea of these physical entities, right? Maybe like spirits or what have you, then what you give energy to, you co-create. So Ashley, my answer to you is Abraham Hicks is right. If you give it no energy, it doesn't exist. If you give it energy, then I would say the medium is right, who feels strongly otherwise. It does exist. So I instantly thought of, and by the way, you can go to Ashley, you can go to the Positive Head website and go to the archives. There's now a search function, which wasn't there until very recently. And you can search and you can probably find old episodes where we discuss this. So if you search some keywords, Bashar or demons, because I actually played a Bashar clip and I'm going to play it again because it's very short and it's from Lightning in a Bottle 2014. And what's particularly special about this clip, if you guys go and find the YouTube page, the person sitting right under Bashar with the big blue umbrella with sacred geometry on it is me. I was at this this taping. I was at Lightning in a Bottle and caught this this whole a workshop with Bashar, and someone got up and asked a question very similar to what Ashley is asking here. So I'm going to play a few minutes of this clip and then talk about it a little bit more.
Hello, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I would like to do my part in protecting my husband and...
Protecting?
Protecting him.
From what?
A reptilian made himself known to us, and it very much frightened him.
All right.
And now we're filled with fear, and we're always trying to live our life without having that. And
all right, but you understand the paradox in what you're saying?
That
the belief that you need protection comes from a fear-based reality, a fear-based belief system. The belief that you need protection invites the idea of attack. If you understand that nothing can attack you, nothing can harm you, if you don't operate on the same frequency domain, then you will understand you don't need protection because you'll be invisible to anything you are not the vibration of. One moment. However, if you don't have a belief system that works that way, then obviously you do have to honor your belief system. So if you need a permission slip, if you need to believe in something that acts as protection for you, there is nothing wrong with that. All we are saying is just understand that you're the one creating the scenario that you need protection from. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if you understand that you don't have to come from a fear-based belief system and you operate on a frequency level that is more true, more in alignment with your core self, then you won't fall into the idea that you need to be protected from something that if it's not on your frequency wouldn't be able to find you anyway. And remember, you cannot experience anything in your life that you don't agree to experience. You are your own reality experience. Everyone is their own reality experience. Everyone is their own unique point of view of all that is. You are, in a sense, really a universe unto yourself. The only way you can experience anything in your reality that is similar to what anyone else may experience in their reality is by agreeing to and creating it for yourself out of your own energy. Do you understand?
Yes.
So don't agree to the things you are offered from a reality you don't prefer to buy into. The real power of what you might call a negatively oriented being, whatever that may be, the real power is to get you to believe they have power over you, which they don't. Do you understand? That's the trick. They want you to believe they have power, and they get you to agree with them that they do when they in fact have no power over you at all. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you.
So, Ashley, hopefully this answers your question. You can see here, as Bashar was saying, this person stood up and said, they'd had some kind of an experience that was very negative and dark and scary, and now fear was dominating. And you heard Bashar say, oh, what a paradox. You want to live in peace, yet you're giving energy to this idea, right? So that's your answer. It has no power over you unless you give it energy. Is there beings that are experiencing separation in a way that's very dark and, both in the physical and out of the physical? I would say certainly yes. Do they have any power over you? Only if you think they do. You are completely untouchable vibrationally if you believe you are untouchable vibrationally. You are creating your reality. You are so powerful. You're an immensely powerful source creator. You have the power to attract or dispel anything with your beliefs. So I think Bashar put it here so well. He said, look, there is no power. The only way they can have any power over you, any entities or physical entities or anyone, anywhere, anytime and space, is if you believe that they have power over you. So if you can understand that and own that and take that into your being, it's so empowering, right? To know you don't need to worry about this stuff. You don't need to worry about dark energy or demons. Why would you call that in? I don't watch horror movies. That's why I don't watch them. I don't need to dive in that, that vibrational pool, right? Why do I need to get in and play around with that energy? It's not something I wish to call in. Where attention goes, energy flows. Give your attention where you want to see more of. If you don't want to see more of it, give it no attention, give it no energy, give it no power, and thus it has no power, because you are the creator. As you speak, as you think, as you feel, you create it to be so. So hopefully this helps answer your question, Ashley, and gives you some confidence that you are so, safe and protected. And, I've even heard it said, and it might even have been Abraham, I can't remember, but she was saying that, if you create this idea that, I need protection or what have you, then you sort of create the need for that energy to be realized and utilized. So then you kind of create the circumstance so that it can be used. So this gets to be an interesting thing. It doesn't, and I've even battled with this one to touch on it even a little more as these thoughts come up, like, okay, does this mean leave your door unlocked at night? Or does this mean, am I giving energy to something because I'm locking my door? Or if there's as Bashar said here, if you have a feeling that you need to do something to be safe, honor that feeling, but give it no more energy than you need to give it. So don't beat yourself up and then leave the door unlocked. But then because you did that, you're sitting there and you can't help but have thoughts of someone breaking in. Now it's not really serving you, right? So really pay attention to yourself. And as he talks about, it's all permission slips. So you need to kind of draw the line in yourself where you're fully comfortable, and honor what you need to do. If you need to lock your doors, lock your doors. If you need to, but give it no more energy than that. And don't sit here and dwell and imagine giving certainly energy to dark entities of any kind. I mean, that's just taking it a whole nother level, and there's no need to call that energy in by giving it your attention. So hope this helps. Let's see here, guys. Well, we're running out of imaginary time for today's episode, but I did want to also throw out a fellow positive head and friend, listener who I have shared her music before. I'm going to leave you guys with one of her tracks. She is actually playing in the Los Angeles area on Thursday, the 5th. January 5th at 11:30 p.m. at the world famous Whiskey A Go-Go. So if you guys are interested, you like this music, you want to support another positive head, Benevolent is the artist, and you can even email her to get tickets, benevolent@benevolent.com. and that's spelled BELLAVOLENT. And yeah, should be really good. And she's working hard to spread her positive message and get her music out. And I love seeing there's so many of you guys that are doing things like creating podcasts and art and music and things that I just love, seeing it happen. And I love supporting however I can. So I thought I would play a track here from Malevolent and tell you guys about the show. For any of you who are in the SoCal area and you want to come out, come out and support the show, I'll be there. And I'm sure some other people will be there from the Positive Heads family. So all right. Well, this track, Leave the World Better by Malevolent. Have a magical day. Until next time.
Transcend. Now wish we could.